Bring you some very important breaking news. 2 local interstates are shut down right now because of multi-vehicle accidents. We want to tell you about both of them. I-275 closed in both directions between Coleraine and Hamilton Avenue. And also we should tell you that I-75 at Middletown closed in both directions between Middletown and Monroe. Now let's talk about the 275 situation first. 18 passenger vehicles in that accident, 4 semi-trucks involved. People have been injured, and we have Tom McKee, who was on the phone and at the scene, and you're looking at a live picture right now of what's going on there. Tom, you're standing like 5 feet from where this has occurred. Tell us what you know.
Tanya, what I'm doing is standing right now in the median of I-275 just west of Tippin Road, mile marker 36 for anybody who travels this area at all. What I'm looking at is an amount of carnage of vehicles that I've seen on TV before in other snow whiteout conditions, but I've never seen something like this in person. All you can see is vehicles, trucks, and cars intertwined. The cable barrier that's designed to catch people and prevent crossover accidents, the cable is stretched at least 10, 15 feet away by some of the vehicles, but it did not break. It bent but did not break. With me right now, Captain Darren Edwards of the Coleraine Township Fire Department. Captain, give me the most recent box score on exactly how many people are involved, how many vehicles.
Right now we've got about 75 passenger vehicles and 16 commercial vehicles, being semis, dump trucks, and larger vehicles like that. We've transported at least 20 people to area hospitals, including the trauma center. One of the first patients transported was a child that was not breathing and was under CPR when we transported.
You had to extricate a number of people from some of the first vehicles, especially the ones that were pinned underneath the trucks.
Correct. We had 4 people that were involved in 3 different vehicles that had to be extricated in 3 separate locations within this accident scene. The one that was the most serious had 2 people in it, an elderly couple that was under a semi, and another passenger vehicle was on the hood of that car.
Captain Edwards, thank you very much. Tanya, that's the latest information from the scene, I-275. It's anybody's guess when this is all going to be cleared up. It's going to take a number of tow trucks, a lot of flatbeds actually, to put the vehicles that have been disabled on those flatbeds, get them out of this area, untangle the trucks, and get the interstate open again. I would not suggest it's going to be open anytime in the immediate future.
Tom,
so
I don't know if the captain's still there with you, and I don't know if maybe you can answer this question. We understand from officials have told us that it was a snow squall, a snow burst, I should say, and that is where we believe that snow just dumps out of the sky very quickly and turns, the road to sheet of ice. Have you heard that from the police and on the scene there?
Oh, I haven't heard it from police. I've heard it from people who were actually driving, and all of a sudden the road whited out. I talked to a truck driver from Chicago who said 1 minute it was beautiful, the next minute snow squall. He tapped his brakes, and next thing he knew, he's in the median with his cab wrapped around his trailer. Talked to another gentleman who had a lot of scratches and a lot of bumps on his head, but he's not seriously injured. He said he was driving along, he tapped the brakes, next thing he knew, a truck hits him from behind, a truck hits him from the front, and he's underneath the vehicle. He said, had there been somebody in my passenger seat, they wouldn't be here right now. He survived, even though his car was pinned underneath one of these trucks. And one of the trucks is a tanker. Don't know what it's carrying, but it did not tip over. Its load did not come out whatsoever. So that's a very fortunate situation at this particular time.
Yeah, we're seeing from this picture, Mount Healthy ambulance has just shown up on the scene as well. Lots of ambulances, I imagine, and here comes a bus probably to take people, offload them from that area and take them to a staging area where they can then get any minor medical help they might need, etc.
Well, Metros come out here with buses too. They'll also provide some shelter for some of the people involved, for even the rescue workers to warm up for a second.
Oh, excellent point.
Come out a little bit. Sun has just come out a little bit, but it is bitterly cold out here as the people try to gather some of their belongings from these vehicles and proceed to talk to police, give their statements to police about what has happened with this horrific accident. A total, at least 10 life squads. I know that coming up Hamilton Avenue earlier, coming to the scene, I saw Coleraine Township, Green Hills, Forest Park, Mount Healthy, Springfield Township, Fairfield, and a number of ambulances from fire departments all over the area coming to this situation. As you heard Captain Edwards say, 18 commercial vehicles, up to total of 79 vehicles in this accident that stretches literally close to a half mile along Interstate 275.
You know, Tom, you and I have been around this area and in the media for such a long time. I don't recall anything like this happening. When I think of something, a multi-car accident like this happening, it's happening down in Chattanooga area of Tennessee because of fog. But this is happening here. And I ask you, do you recall something like this? And not only, by the way, everyone, we're not ignoring what's happening also on 75 in Middletown, which probably has significantly more people affected by the traffic jam that is causing. 75 shut down in both directions between Monroe and Middletown. But Tom, as I ask you, I don't recall anything like this happening, not only once in town, but twice.
Not at all. This is something I have never seen the likes of. I'm standing next to a silver Mercury that's dented in badly. I'm standing next to a Cobalt, Chevy Cobalt, where it had to be cut open by the Colerain Township firefighters with the jaws of life. Just behind there is a tractor trailer. The cab is absolutely mangled behind there. Then you look down farther, you see 4 or 5 cars pinned into this metal steel cable that's in the middle of the interstate as well. And you have investigators going all over these vehicles. They've searched every vehicle at least once, and then they've tied a piece of crime scene tape around the mirror on the driver's side, indicating that they've searched that particular vehicle. And they're doing a secondary, now they're even doing a third search to make sure that they've gotten everybody out of these vehicles that could have been injured.
All right, let me go over these numbers with you again, Tom. And for those of you just joining us, we're talking about 2 major accidents on 2 major interstates in our area. This one that we're focusing on right this very second, I-75, closed at Colerain both directions. Tom had an officer with us who recently just told us 79 passenger vehicles, cars, pickup trucks, that type of thing involved. 18 commercial vehicles, trucks, tankers, that type of thing. At least 20 people taken to area hospitals. One of them, the first person taken, a child who was not breathing. And as Tom has indicated to lots of us, a lot of cars went underneath semi-trucks. So people had to be cut from them. He talked about the jaws of life. The jaws of life, for those of you who don't know, EMS crews carry them with them, or they come with them, and it's a giant, huge, basically scissors that can cut apart a car. So you can imagine what that entails. So several cars were trapped underneath semis. Am I hearing all of those numbers correctly as you know them, Tom?
Yes, that is correct. Those are the numbers right now, the most accurate. And again, if those numbers hold up, I cannot recall in the 35 years that I've been doing TV news in Cincinnati, I don't recall any accident of this magnitude ever.
Yeah, nor do I. Lots going on there. We know that you are there on the ground. You're standing amongst all of that mess there on 275, and we appreciate your coverage. We certainly will be talking to you throughout the day. As you mentioned, no idea how long this is going to take to clean up, right?
That's correct. They have not even started to process the removal of these vehicles because, again, they're doing the secondary and the third searches. They do believe they've gotten everybody out, but they're just making sure that nobody else is in these vehicles. And I imagine it's going to be a couple of hours until they pull vehicles out because they have to photograph everything. They have to document exactly where every single vehicle was. I'm looking at one of the lead vehicles that was involved. It's got orange paint sprayed on the ground right next to where the tires are. So they're marking every single vehicle, and they're going to take measurements and find out exactly what happened if they can. I mean, we know what happened. It was the whiteout caused no visibility. Tractor trailers jackknifed, and next thing you know, you have carnage.
Yeah, indeed. Tom, thanks so much. We'll be getting back to you as warranted. Certainly let us know when we need to know more information, when you have updated information for us. We also want to bring your attention to